أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed evil devil, Iblis, the shaitan, Lucifer, the demon of all demons, seeking to misguide and derail the progeny of Adam, peace and blessings be upon him, and derail us into the ugliest dungeons that ever exist. I begin in the name of the Creator of all, the Sustainer of all, the Originator of all, the Subduer of all, the one who gives life, death, and the one who resurrects. I begin in His name and in His recognition of all attributes. The 99th core, He is Jalla Jalaluhu, He is forever loving, and He is forever merciful. And praising Him and being as well as in knowledge, glorifying Him in means and way in which He knows only to Himself. Praising and glorifying and sending salutations upon those whom He entrusted with the revelation of Quran. This revelation is the revelation of the one Sustainer, the Creator and the Originator of all that exists. Indeed, He is the owner of the final day, just as He is the owner of the original day. He is the one who will give us what it is in which we are entitled to on that day, and no matter how it looks, it will be all fair and just, for indeed He is the one who is most just. We beg and supplicate to Him to guide us on the right path. We beg and supplicate to Him that He accepts our worship and our service in Him and Him alone. We are subservient to Him and Him alone. We are submitted to His decree and His decree alone. We have accepted entirely and completely the revelation that He has given to the best of mankind, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And we ask Him to guide us on the path that He guided the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the prophets before him, those who aided and supported them, and those who carried on their mission after they had left this earth. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to spare us from those whom He has shunned, those whom He has cursed, those whom He has cited to be criminals. And they are criminals because the first thing that they did was that they lied on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one Creator, the one Originator. They refused to accept and embrace the message. That's why they killed, or they attempted to kill, the Prophets alayhimus salatu wassalam, and various ones they did manage to kill. Iblis was there. We want to make very clear that any who follow that lesson, any who follow those means, whether it was during the time when it was taking place with Jesus, Yeshua, Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, or it is today, it is still the same exact method, it is still the exact same way. And indeed, it is not over, or it is not outreach from the means of Jalla Jalaluhu, the Creator. Those whom have taken on that way and have embraced and accepted it to where they're willing to go to any length and any distance to encourage that rebellion against the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the oneness of God. They're the ones who say that we are following, we are having our own way. We already know what we are. We got this from ourselves. This is our way. We already experienced whatever it is that we needed to experience, and that's how we know what we have is correct. They indeed have been misguided. It is a serious misguidance when one believes that they have something originated from them in terms of how to reach the one creator, how to even know themselves. Not even science, psychology. Only that in which our creator, our sustainer has is unlimited. No other study. Those who are studying psychology, they claim that we're only studying 10% of our brain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created it. What is it that they can say about the brain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't already know? Nothing. Getting on to the topic, it's about the humanality. It's about identity of who we really are. The whole problem today is what it was yesterday. One feeling that they are better, their race is better than another race. This is what Iblis, la'natullahi alayhi, said. That he was better than Adam alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear that first, Abba, he refused to bow down. So he was already rebellious. Wastakbar, and he made himself. He was an arrogant individual. Arrogance. A lot of us today, when we get the truth, we don't like the truth already, but we become stubborn in holding on to what we know or what we are in doubt of. Now we have the truth in front of us, but we feel that we're going to be so secure if we simply just hold on to the falsehood that we have and let things go on. We hate change. We don't want to embrace, we don't want to submit ourselves to the truth, and that is our creator. Our creator is all true. Nothing of him is false. He did not reveal anything down here as a revelation, means of laws, social structures, as a means to simply be false. He revealed all the truth, and he has one way to him. Now, we look at Iblis, and he refused, and he was arrogant about it. And obviously, he was a disbeliever. He did not believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have better for Adam than himself. This was a lie for him. And he stuck with this lie until this very moment. He's still sticking with this lie, feeling and thinking and considering how night and day him and his progeny, him and those allies of his can derail us. And they have done a very good job until now. Operation Stop Lying was when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled allied operational mystical spiritual forces right here in Richmond, Virginia, where slavery in the United States began, to launch Operation Stop Lying. And it meant that the truth, the entire truth, and nothing save the truth would come out. People would wake up to that. And those who are sincere and want it would embrace it. Those who are sincere and have absolute certainty in the one creator and have been searching for the entire truth will say one statement, and they will comply with the statement that they made. If we want to get out of this, we need to fight for peace. Fight and strive for peace, no matter what the expense is, because it's unacceptable that we have our country, United States of America, and no peace. It's war everywhere, always involved in warfare. When are we going to stay home and take care of our own dark history and responsibility? There's so many of us who do not even know our identity. We cannot even look at our economy until we really know our culture. We really know who we are and what our purpose is here. Our labor market is completely afflicted by the social abnormalities, the incompetence in thinking and considering exactly who we truly are and what our purpose is here. A number has been done on our people for many generations. This dark history, we're walking on land of stolen. We're walking on land of raped. We're walking on land that has definitely been plagued with blood of slaves, blood of those who had been dealt with unjustly. We have been at the forefront, and we will remain at the forefront of calling to one and one alone. And this is our way out of all of this mess. You're lying about the rape accusations. Ask the guests that were being kept, how they were being kept. Which one of them can say that they were being raped? So now you're fabricating this mess instead of telling people the truth. You want to do more fabrication so you will have more emotions for your side. But we also know now how you have treated the prisoners of Palestinians, juveniles. And definitely they have their stories. For many, many, many decades you've been treating the people this way. And today you want all the sympathy in the world. As you play the victim, whether it's Holocaust or whether it's, the problem here, honestly, is that you all, you IDF folks, and that's why Jalla Jalaluhu sent that. So your soldiers got diarrhea, huh? Look, all I'm saying, IDF, you cannot keep lying your way out of this intellectual warfare. You cannot do it. You are, you're putting the credibility of the Quranic practitioner in jeopardy with that. And I am no better. I'm here, right here in America. I'm right here in Richmond. But I'm a human being. I am no better than those who are being bombed, those who are being kept, no matter where it is. I am no better of a human being. My family is no better than them. For them to be indiscriminately tortured the way that they're being tortured. If you ask the prisoners who were in the hands of the resistance how they were being treated, everybody could see they are at least being given water on their way out. High fives, some give salutes. But you, on the other hand, you do not even allow the people to celebrate for their loved ones after so long in captivity. Never mind those who actually died under your care, And instead of you, trying and making sure that the ceasefire continues, that there be a time of tranquility, you have your religious, rabbis, اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم, as the Quran says, أربابا من دون الله. You take them better than the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you believe you need to kill everybody there. Men, women, children, and animals. This is what your religion teaches you. And you think that you have so much power because of the fact that you have hijacked the United States Congress area, the legislative bodies. You think this is really supposed to be a safe haven and refuge for you. Do you really know why the poisoning happened over there? Do you take into consideration that the Creator who created everything, the one who is most just, did not create us to be under occupation? You and your masters need to understand that. Whether you're the masters or whether they're the masters, you both need to understand. We were born freely. We were brought here freely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who gave us everything that is here, He does not put a price tag on what it is that we give in return to Him. What on earth makes you think that you are entitled to? This is the era of liberation. This is the era of freedom. Allied Coalition Operational Forces, Boise, all over the world, we're calling and we're making sure that the people stand firm despite your aggression, despite what it is that you are trying to do psychologically. When you ask the guests, how they were being treated, they all have good stories to tell about the resistance. They were disciplined. We saw their organization looking, girlsy and boysy, both were there. And here you are, on the other hand, trying to make it seem as if you have accomplished so much because of your bombing, because of your indiscriminate bombing. You bombed journalists. Why? You don't want them to get information out. Now you're trying to get laws against them right here in the United States. So you're trying to threaten them to speak the truth about Gaza. You killed journalists, CNN 9-member journalist, family member of CNN. And Al Jazeera, you also killed. You killed more journalists in these 2 months than the Russia conflict in Ukraine in 2 years. Then you've killed more UN workers than anywhere else, civil workers, unbelievably so. You understand? Medical staff, you've killed them. You've attacked the medical infrastructure. You've bakeries, okay? Schools, refugee camps. No place is safe in the Strip. So you are saying now that you are still going after Hamas after 60 days. Do you realize how many people are actually missing? Why don't you find those people and get them out of the rubble instead of going after Hamas? Because You claim Hamas is about 50,000. In 1 month, you don't even know how many Hamas fighters you have actually neutralized, or so you say. You don't even know. We do see the battlefield, and they seeing you, and you're not seeing them. They in a much better position than you are because they know the ground, and you cannot even see them. But what we can see is that, yes, you're committing serious war crimes. Everybody can see that this is a war crime, what is going on. There's no question about it. You want to blame that on Hamas for these fabricated narratives now. All of a sudden people coming out, oh, we were raped. You know, we see these boys reciting Quran, you know. I mean, 20, 40 years ago, we saw them throwing rocks and claiming Arab nationalism mainly. I remember, you know, the PLO leader, Yasser Arafat. We remember him. And in all honesty, you know, it was mainly, I mean, I'm going to quote Malika Mauna Muhammad I, and she did say, Rahmatullahi alayha, may Allah Ta'ala give her high status in the Jannah along with all of the shuhada. But she did say, as long as these Arab people put forward Arab nationalism, which has actually separated them. Back then Saddam was in there, you know, and you also had Hosni Mubarak in there. You know, King Abdullah I was there, Fahad was there, you know. So, I mean, so they were all there, but the point was it was always about nationalism. And she said, as long as that is the case, they're not going to get very far. But the moment they put Islam, they give Islam its right, it's all over. Muslims will definitely stand up, and everybody looking at that atrocity that is going on all over the world. It's just a matter of when. So we call and respect all of the South African nation builders who are demonstrating against the occupational forces. The boycotts are definitely important because economy is very is a very important element in warfare. We have to make sure of that. So we boycott, and we're calling for more boycotts, and we're calling for more resignations. And especially and most importantly, anyone who wants to stand for the firm, everlasting resistance to build for the peace, pledge your oath of allegiance to the Shahada, to the oneness of God and God alone, and all that He has decreed. This is what has given the Palestinian resolve, to know that God is one, to know that He indeed is everlasting in all means and ways in which we know, in which we do not know, and He indeed does not support the aggressor over the aggressed one. That's what's keeping them there. When and how you think you can change that narrative, then you will have what you want. But Jalla Jalaluhu has decreed that you will never be able to change that. You will never win over the will and the resolve that He has given to the people because they have given themselves to Him. That is it. And what we want to make very clear is that at this point, it is better for you, by all means, if you really want to save your state, if you really want to save the existence of this place that you call today. You are not able to do it through religious texts. We already know the rabbis are on the side of the coalitional forces. We have all of the allies that we need in order to make very clear to you what it is that you are trying to hide. So you need to stop it. Pull out of Gaza all of the Palestinian lands ASAP. It is unacceptable what you have done, and for you to try and cover it up with more lies, it's too much. And by the way, America is not safe from being held accountable either. You know, America already has here, Joe Biden is not going to win the majority of voters who voted for him. And again, it goes back to what we were saying. Getting into politics and voting these politicians in, Declaration of the Quran 2021. You are bringing these politicians in and encouraging people to vote Democrat. Okay, who is going to take responsibility on the day of judgment for Joe Biden's atrocities right now? His accomplices, you know, what even before him, George W. Bush 1, 2, 3. Well, you got the governors. But the point of the matter still remains. We have to be realistic. We want peace. Everybody wants peace and harmony. We're not going to get it from continuously, you know, going on with this cycle of violence. The people think that they